Listen, Claudia, girl, I know you're not okay, so I'm gonna get you in touch with my therapist. She's great, and we're gonna help you just recover from all your past trauma, unless you're at the point of no return, and in that case, whoa. What's going on, you guys? James here, and yesterday we just got a ton of Dragon Prince news for Season 6. Man, it's been a wild 24 hours if you're a fan of the series, just like myself. But if you missed it, I dropped my trailer reaction to Season 6's little teaser. We got a mix of flashbacks and we got a mix of some new footage. So I'm really excited to break that down today. Yeah, you're getting a full trailer breakdown today. But that's not all. We got to talk about some Season 6 footage that you might have missed. But before we get into that, if it is your first time here at the channel, welcome to Real James, where I love talking about the Dragon Prince, movies, TV, and all the news in between. So if you do too, hit the big red button below, subscribe to the channel, tap on that bell, and hit the thumbs up button. Now, in case you're wondering, absolutely, I'm breaking down the Avatar: The Last Airbender trailer that we got yesterday. If you missed it, I was in tears. But for now, we're just going to dive right into the Thursday showcase at Netflix's Geeked Week, which showed off a ton of new shows, mobile games, some movies, I guess, but we're really talking about the Dragon Prince Season 6. So what did we get? Well, they delivered a couple of things. One, a very brand new look at the gameplay for the PvE game Xadia, which will release on PC and I presume Mac as well. It is currently getting signups via email on playxadia.com. So I signed up with my email. We'll see what happens. I'm guessing they'll send out beta codes, news releases, everything of the sort. But more on that in just a little bit. Now, the second thing they showed off is the one thing we were waiting for patiently, of course. Our very first teaser trailer for Season 6. It's called Stars officially, but we knew that if you watched my interview with Aaron Ehas, friend of the channel. But guys, what I want to do now is focus on the Xadia gameplay trailer. You might be thinking, you don't cover video games on the channel. I know I don't. But in this instance, there were some splices, very short clips of Season 6 footage. And guys, oh man, there's a lot to talk about. So let's begin with our very first look at Astrid, a new character for the series. She's a celestial elf, and it looks like she's flying towards something in this short clip. Now you're probably wondering, how do you know this is Astrid? Well, you can tell by this star design on her clothing, but also because of the description of her character. So let's go ahead and read what the Dragon Prince's wiki account says about Astrid, and I quote, "Astrid has pale blue skin, check. Red and yellow hair with black roots, check. Gray curved horns on her head, check. As well as a pair of white wings on her back, triple check or quadruple check. Her attire consists of a black and blue robe with yellow and white accents, maroon boots, and a blue blindfold that bears the symbol of the stars." Now keep that blindfold detail in mind, because that will come into play when we talk about the Season 6 teaser trailer. So I'm excited, honestly, for this character. It seems like this character is going to be guarding the Quasar Diamonds, which are basically what they need to construct the Nova Blade in Season 6. If you remember in Season 5, we saw this in the Great Bookery, where we had Kazi and Callum taking a look at this book, which described the Nova Blade, but in order to construct it, you need the Quasar Diamonds. So yeah, I'm super pumped because this is exactly the direction they're going in, you guys. And if you're wondering who's voicing Astrid, according to the Dragon Prince wiki, Astrid will be voiced by Boone Williams, who doesn't necessarily have many credits on IMDb, and doesn't even have a credit for this character on IMDb yet. So that was the first bit of Season 6 footage. Let's talk about the second clip that they showed off from Season 6, which is Rayla fighting this mysterious figure. And we know this is Rayla because we can very faintly see Rayla's butterfly blades, at least that's what it looks like to me. And it looks like Rayla's leaping towards this mysterious figure who could possibly be a stone guardian. I was trying to make it out, you guys, but it was really tough for me because of the low lighting, but also the short clip. And there was a flash of lightning at one point, but still, there were no sort of emblems or designs on this guardian-looking creature or beast. But I will say, there was one thing that stood out to me, and that was the purple eyes of this beast. I'm gonna be honest with you guys, that can only mean one thing. either Claudia or Aaravos is controlling this stone guardian. We're going to call him that for now, because purple eyes, of course, signify something being controlled by dark magic. And who knows how to conjure dark magic? Viren, but he might be dead. Claudia, she's still alive. And Aaravos, who's probably frustrated at how his plan hasn't necessarily come together as he thought it would. But yeah, I think that this has got to be Claudia controlling the beast. That's my guess. And the third short clip that we got from Season 6 showcases Queen Aanya. We really missed her. Wait, am I the only one that's missed her? Okay, she was really dope, guys, in Season 3. But it was really cool to see her on top of the rock, putting that bow and arrow to work. Now we do see in this quick glimpse a sort of gem inside of the arrow. It just sort of reveals itself, and it's not really looking like a quasar diamond, which I thought it was at first. Those are found in the corona of the heavens, which is guarded by the celestial elves, and they don't take a similar shape. So I'm wondering, is whatever is inside this arrow something that will help defeat Aaravos? And hey, maybe I'm wrong and it is a quasar diamond, which would be nuts. Or it could just be Queen Aanya coming up with some sort of trick or something, I don't know. Maybe it's nothing, but it is cool to see Queen Aanya, and confirmed for Season 6, that's so dope. And that's all we got in terms of Season 6 footage for the game Xadia, which actually doesn't look terrible, you guys. I'm not a PC gamer, and I'm not much of a gamer these days anymore either, but I might play this. Okay, yes, you got me. It's because you can play as Rayla. That's what sold me on the game. Sorry. But yeah, I'm excited for it. We don't know necessarily when Xadia is coming out, but Wonderstorm has been teasing this. Apparently they teased it at New York Comic Con as well. So I'm excited to get more of a deep dive into the game. Is it going to be something maybe that's worth it? Or maybe I'll let you guys play it and tell me how good it is. But guys, I am so happy we got all of that. But that's not all. We still got to break down this teaser trailer, you guys, which blew my mind. So let's get into my full breakdown right now. The teaser trailer opens with a montage of flashback scenes, beginning with a Rayla moment from Season 3, Episode 8, Dragon Guard. Now they fooled me, guys. I thought it was going to be a Rayla moment for real from Season 6, but we'll probably get that eventually. The second flashback scene we witnessed was King Harrow and Callum's hug from Season 1, Episode 2, What Is Done. Oh boy, that moment still made me sad. I know we've seen it already, I've rewatched the series like 3 times, but still, it's sad. And after those 2 flashback scenes, we get very quick clips in succession, one after the other, beginning with King Ezrin and a young Zim, Aunt Aanya and Gren, Viren and baby Soren from Season 5, Zubeia and young Zim, Bait, Soren and King Ezrin, Claudia and Viren, which is funny because there are parallels of them hugging right after the clip of Ezrin hugging Soren. Then you have Ithari and Runan. Then you have Terry and Claudia from Season 5. Amaya and Queen Janai. We have Queens Anika and Neha, parents of Queen Anaya. King Harrow and Queen Sarai, tears. And finally, Viren in Season 5 laying on the ground alone, hopefully thinking about all of his dumb mistakes. Okay, let me scale back a little bit. We feel bad for Viren just a tad, maybe we do. But what I found very interesting about all of these flashback scenes, Aaravos had a line of dialogue, or lines of dialogue, a brand new voiceover by Eric Todd Dellums that we hadn't heard before, but it was what Aaravos said while these clips were playing that really brings everything together. So let's go line by line with Aaravos and Eric Todd Dellums. Aaravos begins with saying this: "We are, all of us, stardust, held together by love for an instant." And that's it. Seriously, just 2 lines of dialogue, but it's when these lines of dialogue again came about. "We are, all of us, stardust" was what we heard from the first 2 clips, those first 2 flashback clips, the Rayla moment and the King Harrow and Callum hug, and then we heard held together by love for an instant as everyone is hugging and loving each other, and quick clips like that. So it's almost like Aaravos is explaining how finite their lives are in contrast to his life, which is very, very long. The man's been around for a while, hasn't he? But to me, it's possible that Aaravos is also alluding and flexing his muscle just a little bit about how powerful he is. I mean, he says, all of us, stardust. It's almost like he's the puppet Again, the puppet sort of imagery and symbolism that Aaron Haas and Justin Richmond have been playing with in the posters and in these intro sequences. So guys, it still sounds like Aaravos is pulling the strings behind the scenes. But here's the moment in the teaser trailer that broke the internet, or at least the area of the internet controlled by the Dragon Prince fandom. After this flashback sequence, we finally get into brand new Season 6 footage. So we're going to walk through this scene by scene, and let me be honest with you guys, if you're a fan of Claudia, this does not bode well for her. We begin with eyes opening to then reveal Claudia, and then we find out it's Terry who's on the ground, seemingly being brought back to consciousness after being knocked out, or maybe just sleeping? And Terry's face of shock was my face as well when we saw Claudia and how she looks so deranged, unhinged, and very evil. Claudia really does look incredibly scary here. She's basically unhinged after what happened in Season 5, having her leg cut off, Viren presumably dying, and Soren no longer being in her life. So of course, she misses her brother Soren, but hey, Claudia did things that she can't come back from. Now if you take a very close look at Claudia, you're going to notice something here, you guys. She's got blood on her right hand and at the tips of her hair. The majority of her hair is also white, which could signify that she's presumably used more dark magic from the time of Season 5's end till this moment in the trailer. Her face is also very reminiscent of Viren's when he performed dark magic earlier in this series. So like father like daughter possibly, but then when the camera kind of goes into an over the shoulder shot, we see even more of that blood in Claudia's hair. So what did she do? Because that can't come from her leg being cut off. That happened underwater in Season 5. So who did she kill? Who did she harm? What sort of spell did she conjure to possibly save her dad? To possibly heal herself? I don't know, you guys, but it doesn't look good for the person whose blood is on her hair. But the most chilling moment of this sequence of events is what Claudia and Terry spoke about together. So let's break down their brief conversation. Terry says, and then Claudia says, my mom left me, my brother left me, and now my dad is gone. Everyone leaves. Terry responds, I'm here for you. To which Claudia then says, but you're never going to leave me. Terry questions her and says, what? And then everything cuts. Oh boy, y'all. You know what? You know what, Claudia, girl? Sorry, I was feeling bad for you just a little bit, but now I can't feel bad for you anymore. What you're doing is crazy, girl. You know your actions are going to have consequences. So, outside of the trailer, I just want to make one technical note. Raquel Belmonte. To me, she had the best performance in Season 5. And it sounds like she's going to carry the momentum into Season 6. Just incredible voice work here, and it really did blow me away. You know, oh my gosh, she's so good. And of course, the voice artist for Terry, just a great actor. I really do believe that both of them together have grown on me, to be completely honest with you. So right after Terry says, what? That's the moment Claudia raises her staff and stabs it into what looks like the ground next to Terry, not harming him, but of course this was meant to tease the possibility that Claudia would kill Terry in this moment, or in the future, because if Claudia is willing to stop Terry from leaving her, she's going to do everything she can, which could possibly include possessing Terry? Maybe that could happen, you guys, but she definitely stabs the ground next to his head and not Terry himself. That would get this series a TVMA. Right now, we're not rocking with that, right? But I do believe this signifies a darker approach to the season. We know that Dragon Prince creators Aaron Haas and Justin Richmond have alluded after Season 5 that Season 6 was going to be pretty dark, and it might be the darkest yet. And so far, they're correct. I really am wondering what's next for Claudia. It sounds like she's in a very vulnerable position. She's unhinged, and Aaravos knows this, because Aaravos believes, like we learned, that Claudia is more important than she seems and more powerful than she thinks. That could be basically Aaravos saying, you're going to be an asset for me and my plans to take over all the kingdoms and the world. But that's not all, you guys. we end up getting something at the tail end of the teaser trailer. We got a Book 6 Stars logo that slowly zooms closer towards the screen, looks good, but then a wing appears with feathers fluttering in what looks to be a starry space. And then, right away for a brief moment, we see Callum's arm. So it's safe to assume he casted the Manus Pluma Volantis spell, right? To give him wings since he's a sky mage after all. But this doesn't seem like any normal sequence. It feels very dreamlike. And then the next frame is scary if you're a fan of Callum like I am. He's falling through this starry sky, but he's got a blindfold on that looks like the same starry blindfold that Astrid wore in the previous clip we watched and spoke about at the beginning of this video. So that gets my mind going. One, is this a dream sequence? I would say yes. But what does that mean for Callum in reality? He must be unconscious again. Two, could it be that Callum is learning star magic? Guys, we already know he has the connection to the sky and into the ocean, if I'm not mistaken. But, if he gets star magic, that could be what helps him actually defeat Aaravos. Or maybe even get close to defeating him. And I'm gonna be honest, I think he's learning this star magic from Astrid just because of the blindfold. So maybe Astrid puts him in this dreamlike state to connect to that arcanum. So I am super pumped to see if that's what happens. But Callum's got to learn all the elements, similar to Aang having to learn every element to defeat Fire Lord Ozai. So I could see this being Callum's situation where he's got to learn all of the different primal sources and he's got to make sure that he is connected to everything in order to defeat Aaravos. That would be so dope, you guys. And then, of course, at the very end of the teaser trailer itself, this is not part of any new footage, but we did get a tagline that says, "Coming soon, 2024." So we knew that Season 6 had been pretty much done and in post-production by the end of Season 5. So we're actually very close to Season 6, closer than I believe we think. But the question is, we have a release year, we don't have a month and a day, so when are we getting Season 6? If I had to guess, you guys, because February 22nd, 2024 is the release date for the live-action Avatar The Last Airbender series, the Dragon Prince would be smart to avoid that, because Avatar is going to be talked about everywhere for a long time because of the nature of the franchise, and because that trailer was so dope. But if I had to guess, I'm going with middle of 2024. I think around springtime, maybe April, middle of April, we could possibly see this series debut. Or they do this: hey, we want to make sure we capture our target audience and they don't have any school to worry about, so let's go ahead and drop this at the beginning of summertime. That would be later than I would imagine they'd want to drop this, but they gotta avoid Avatar again. So I would say middle of 2024, as soon as springtime, but no later than the start of summer. That's where my mind is going right now. So that's my guess. We'll see if it comes true. But guys, there you have it. That's my full breakdown of the Season 6 teaser trailer and the gameplay trailer for Xadia, which included new footage and clips from Season 6. Now, y'all, I need you to tell me in the comments below what you think of all of this new footage. Give me some of your theories and go ahead and tell me if I missed something, because I want to know what it is I might have missed. Oh man, guys, so that's all I got. I'm gonna go work on the Avatar video now, and oh man, I'm so excited that we're getting more and more news about Season 6 of The Dragon Prince. I have to imagine we'll get an official trailer maybe by Christmas time? We'll see. Alrighty, y'all, again, thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you at the next screening. Seriously though, Claudia, let me text you my therapist's information, for sure.